Hi, I'm Lindsay Graber-Runft, and I live in Republic County, Kansas, and I work for Certified Angus Beef, the world's largest branded beef company. My position is Director of Producer Communications, and essentially what that means is that I lead communications for our team on the supply chain, the live cattle side. So essentially, communication strategy, including public relations and sustainability communications for farmers and ranchers, feed yards, all the way up to the packer that supplies our brand with the beef that's then sold in over 50 countries across the world. So outside looking in, it seems pretty miraculous to get to be able to do a job on that scale in a rural community, but realistically, it's pretty easy when you have access to things like good high-speed internet. I do have to travel by air sometimes, and while we don't have an airport right down the road, there are a few options that make it easy. There's regional airports within 2 hours of here, as well as some international airports in Wichita and Kansas City. And so while it's not necessarily something that I would say we have an airport right here in our community, it's definitely not undoable. It's pretty easy for me to hop on a plane and get to where I need to be in, half a day. Especially with Manhattan having flights to Dallas and Chicago every day. You can pretty much get wherever you want to go from either of those locations. So that makes it easier. I would say too that it's one thing that I always remind myself is that sometimes you have to drive a little bit longer to get to the airport when you're going to fly out. But for me, that's a small price that we pay for me to get to live where I want, to raise my family where I want, that ultimately weighs out a lot heavier on that fulfillment side.